Today, we are once again talking about how Topps is out of touch with an upcoming card release, and I want to flag it for you today because it's one of those that I was really excited about, but what they've shown in the last few days has highlighted, like I said, that they are out of touch and are maybe killing the whole one-of-one game, and it does in fact relate to Topps Dynasty, and it does in fact relate to the upcoming release of Topps Dynasty UEFA Champions League. So obviously a soccer set, something that I'm super passionate about and super excited for, like I think I just mentioned. But what we've sort of seen has left me scratching my head quite a bit. And it sort of kicked things off maybe a week ago when they gave a bit of a sneak peek as to what this set was actually going to look like. We haven't really seen much apart from, a few snapshots here and there of players like Brazilian Ronaldo doing his signing session, and the cards looked amazing. But they haven't really given us a checklist yet either. But this thing was sort of like the first look at what, some of these cards are actually going to look like. And they talk about how it's a soccer set like the world has never seen before, which is a little bit ridiculous considering we have had things like Flawless Soccer. We have had things like 2 releases of Panini Eminence. So we have seen high-end soccer stuff in the past. But this video in particular, and as you can sort of see in the comments on the side, just seems a bit strange because there are 9 Lionel Messi one-of-one patch autos in this set alone, at least from what we've seen here. There could be even more. And it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me why they've gone ahead and done that. And it seems to have, ruin the allure of this set, and maybe ruin the allure of a Lionel Messi patch auto, because instead of being something that people want to chase, you've now got 8 other ones in there. So is that going to ruin the appeal of it slightly? And the other thought process I have is, do you guys actually need to go ahead and do this? I can sort of understand why they've got so many, because there's some with him in a Barcelona jersey and there's some with him in a PSG jersey. But did you really need like 6 in the PSG jersey? Could you have just gone for 1 in Barcelona, 1 in PSG? Maybe, maybe not. But it just left me, like I said, scratching my head. And some of you guys might, look back to Flawless Soccer. Like I've mentioned in the past, a huge set that I love collecting because it really was the first foray into high-end cards for soccer. And it really is, in my opinion, the pinnacle soccer set that we'll probably ever see, purely because the design of Flawless is so clean and purely because it's all on-card autos and all game-used jerseys. But you guys might point to this and look at the gold proof set that they release as part of this, like Panini has also done for National Treasures in the past for things like basketball and football, etc. But what this was essentially duplicates of all the checklists for certain players that basically then were flagged as gold proof one-of-ones. A bit of an overkill thing in my opinion. But you can sort of see here there are so many Lionel Messi out of 1s, out of 2s. The same thing for Cristiano Ronaldo, Gareth Bale, Harry Kane, and Pele. Now, you guys will say this is the same sort of thing as what Topps is doing here, but there's a distinction that needs to be made, in my opinion, and that is this was the first foray, like I said, into high-end cards. So Panini had to do something to appeal to the North American market in order to want to chase this, which is why they were, I guess, so nonchalantly filling it with the likes of these guys, because they knew they would sell. They knew they would appeal to the wider market. So I can cut them some slack, because aside from this set, the only other really 2 high-end sets we had were Eminence that were associated with the last 2 World Cups, so released 4 years apart, and it was something that was new and something that they just decided to try and, I guess, like I said, appeal to that wider market. So when people are sort of seeing this and trying to say it's the same as this, I don't think that makes sense, because soccer is well established now as being a pretty strong collector base when it comes to cards and high-end cards and all that sort of stuff. And, Topps themselves have a number of fantastic soccer sets, so it doesn't make sense to do this, in my opinion. And I think it should concern you guys, especially those of you that collect basketball, because they've obviously just signed LeBron James. So who's to say they're not going to do the same thing with him when it comes to upcoming, Topps Chrome and Topps Dynasty sets once they get their licenses for basketball? Because I'm assuming they're going to do the same sort of thing. Clearly they want to try and appeal to as many people as possible. They want to try and get as many people buying this stuff as possible. But the whole point of a one-of-one, like many have said over here on the right, is for it to be a one-of-one. Like, do you still want a Lionel Messi patch auto when they're putting 10 one-of-ones every single year? Like, obviously, I think most people would say yes, but are they going to command the same value? Are they going to command the same appeal? Do they have that same allure to them? I've said that word a few times, but the reason why we chase certain things is for that allure, because it's scarce, because it's rare. We actually want something that nobody else can get. That's exciting to have, right? You as a collector want that stuff that is hard to find. And LeBron James is a pretty clear-cut example of that, because obviously he's been signing for Upper Deck and he hasn't signed cards for a long time. So the fact he can sort of enter into, now a mass-produced product and a lot more people can get a chance to get his autographs is something to be excited about, obviously, because I want to try and get one now because I'm obviously priced out. But if they're going to do it like this and print it to death and have hundreds and hundreds of autos of his, maybe even thousands or tens of thousands released every year across all the products. It's like, guys, what are you doing? Doesn't make sense. To keep this sort of trend going, Topps made a post yesterday, which is also pretty laughable in my opinion. They basically say, if there ever was a logo man equivalent for soccer cards, it would probably be the Starball Relic, which is the logo for the Champions League, the UEFA Champions League, which is what this set is based on. So they're trying to say these are the logo men and showing off the cards. And what they do say here is the last card, it's the GOAT. And there's 2 points here. I think they're incorrect, firstly, because I think it would be the World Cup patch as the equivalent to a logo man, not necessarily the UEFA Champions League logo. And to be honest, I think the World Cup patch probably exceeds what a logo man is, especially these days. But what's pretty funny with this post in particular, again, as you can probably see by the comments on the right, I know it might be small on your phone, is the last card, because they say the last card, it's a GOAT. But look what happens here. There's a Lionel Messi 1 of 1. Lionel Messi 1 of 1, Lionel Messi 1 of 1. So when they say the last card, do they mean the last 3 cards? Because those 3 patch autos are identical. Yes, the image of Messi himself is different, but they're all in a PSG jersey. They've probably all got the same patch from the same jersey. So what are you trying to do here? It just seems a bit strange to me. And I don't think, Topps need to be doing that, especially in this day and age. And it just shows to me that they're a little bit out of touch. We know they're out of touch, but in this particular instance, it's a bit more disappointing. Number one, maybe because I was so excited about this set, and I obviously still am. I'm priced out of it. I can't really afford it, but it just seems weird. Like, put all that effort into creating something cool that we haven't really seen in this hobby for a number of years. Like, at least, I think I said Flawless Soccer came out 2015-16. We're sort of dying for this sort of set. Yeah, they come out and do stuff like that. So is that the mindset they're taking? Are they just trying to focus in on stuff like that? Okay, well, if that is how out of touch they are, what else are they cutting corners on? Or what else are they going to start putting out there that doesn't actually end up being super appealing for collectors? I know people are going to go crazy for this. I'm probably getting classified as a hater, but it just sort of defeats the purpose. I just have 1 of 1. Like, guys, how hard is that to do? I understand you want to fill these sets with these cards to get people to chase them, but I think you can still get people excited without having to do that. And the other fear that I have is because we haven't seen the checklist yet, are they filling this stuff with all these Messis, 9 1 of 1 duplicates, because the rest of the checklist is maybe subpar, and maybe they haven't been able to sign as many athletes as what they thought they could. Who knows? And I could be proven wrong on that, but that's sort of what my fear is right now, where that just doesn't appear to be a good look. Like, obviously, it means more people can get a chance to get a Messi auto. That's obviously fantastic, especially, some match-worn gear of his. That's amazing. He's the GOAT of his sport, but I'm sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say here, and I hope it's made sense. So anyway, that was my little ramble on this. I'm super excited for this set. I'm going to try and chase some of these on the secondary market. Topps Dynasty does look good. I don't think it looks anywhere nice or as clean or as high-end as what Flawless does, but it was better than nothing. Like I said, we've not seen a set like that for 9 years now. And like, obviously Eminence is there, but Eminence is on a whole other level. And what's really disappointing with the most recent release of Eminence is that's not all game-worn stuff, which Panini are clowns for actually doing. So that's sort of it. Let me know your thoughts down below. I've got a really interesting video for you guys on Topps again, showing how out of touch they are, and that'll be for tomorrow, a bit of a bonus video. And it does relate to their sportsbook and them, trying to push gambling on to collectors. And I want to share that in a bit more detail. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. But that's sort of it for this one. I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.